The Babadook is directed and written by Jennifer Kent, and it's most notably starring Essie Davis as a mother who lost her husband to a car crash, and she's trying to get her life back in order after the depression and the tragedies that she's been experiencing in life. And she has a son who is notoriously misbehaved, especially in school where he has created weapons and even used them in the middle of classes, and he's getting calls from the teachers for it. And she's trying to get him back in order, and she's trying to get the relationship between her and her son back together, even with the tension between them two escalating, making for a really great psychological horror. This is not even essentially a monster flick. This is a psychological horror. There is very few appearances of this actual monster on screen, unlike how the title may try to convince you otherwise. This is a pure psychological horror. You're not seeing any jump scares, as you may see in a lot of other horror films. All the horror around this film is around the mother and her son, and the escalating tension between them in this relationship, and the depression she's experiencing as a result of tragedy. That is a real horror. The monsters and his appearance on screen is all just a payoff, and that's it. This film cleverly invests you in these characters, not only from a sympathy standpoint, where they actually make you feel invested in this mother because you feel sad for the horrible things she's experiencing as both a mother and a widow, but you can also relate to her as a human being. They actually know how to make you feel empathy for her too. And that's what's so great. There's a balance between both, which I love here. And when the monster, the Babadook, actually does appear on screen, you're worried for these characters because you had the time to develop these characters. You actually had the time to feel empathy for them and care for them. And that's what makes this film so great. This scenes where the monster actually does appear on screen, they're so unsettling and they make such a great payoff. It's overall so well rounded, especially towards the final act. Pretty much every aspect of this film feels like a short film on Alter, a really effective short horror film that you typically find on YouTube, but adapted into a feature-length film. And that's really effective. Everything from the cinematography, the lighting is so effective, the way that it's used inside the house, it all sets such a creepy atmosphere. Even when there isn't an appearance of this monster, you always feel unsettled because of the atmosphere, and it enhances this tension that's escalating between these two characters, which is what's so good. And the camera work is very smooth, which I love here. The musical score also gives off the vibe of a short film from Alter. And it's so creepy and effective. It fits so well within the tone and the atmosphere of this film. I love pretty much every aspect of this film. The acting here is great too, especially Ellie Davis as the mother in this film. You really feel the depression and the tragedy she's experiencing because she sells it so well. She really delivers here. And the child acting performance here is phenomenal. I have not seen a child acting performance that good in recent years at all. Overall, the acting across the board here is incredible. I have not seen really anything like it since a horror film like Hereditary, honestly. And I love how this film is so ambiguous. There are so many interpretations you can get from this. But personally, my interpretation is that this monster here, the Babadook, is a symbol, a metaphor, if you will, for the depression this mother is experiencing, the hardships he's going through, and how this child is noticing it, and how he's scared of it. That's pretty much what I see as this monster and how it plays into this film and the story. I think a slow burn psychological horror film can be so effective when it's done right, when it can have a good payoff and you can actually invest in the characters. And this film has it all, and it's done just right. I'm giving the Babadook, a 10 out of 10. But as always, I hope you enjoyed this review. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next video.